Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. It's the most dangerous situation a police officer can face. Staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Tonight, on an all-new episode of the world's scariest police shootouts, you will witness the most terrifying gun battles ever caught on tape. Every day in America, police officers are confronted by armed and dangerous criminals. Sometimes, upholding the law means having to pull the trigger. A sharpshooter takes aim during a tense standoff.
How will this end, John?
It's gonna end with a good bang.
A gunman shoots it out during a high-speed chase. And a routine traffic stop erupts in a blaze of gunfire.
He's been shot! He's been shot! I shot him!
This is not a movie. Everything you are about to see is real.
Good evening. I'm Sheriff John Bunnell. After 27 years on the force, I can tell you the last thing a police officer wants to do is draw his weapon. But as you're about to see, sometimes he has no choice. Spring Hill, Florida. A desperate man armed with a handgun leads officers on a high-speed chase. 2 squad car cameras catch all the action. Earlier in the day, the distraught gunman had threatened deputies with his revolver, then barricaded himself in his house. Now, he's making his getaway. Look closely as the driver fires his weapon at police. The officers slow down to avoid the gunfire, but the chase continues. 2 miles into the pursuit, the suspect loses control of his car and slams into a stop sign. But he's not about to give up.
It's not every day you see something like that happen in your own backyard.
Bill Davidson was standing on his porch, just a few feet away from the shootout.
He rammed one of the officers' cars. He was shooting at him through his window, and they were shooting back at him.
As the suspect crashes into the squad car, a SWAT officer in the back seat returns fire. Even though the gunman is still armed, the officers bravely approach his car to make the arrest. No further gunfire is exchanged, and the suspect is taken into custody. Steubenville, Ohio. A deranged man enters a crowded grocery store and pulls out a gun. The 30-year-old gunman is armed with a .357 Magnum. He keeps it pointed at his hostage's head.
He was like, I'm going to kill her. I didn't know how many people was there. We seen nothing but the floor of the fruit aisle.
Police quickly arrive on the scene and surround the store. The gunman decides to release several hostages. Now only a female hostage remains. Police are faced with the difficult task of disarming the gunman without harming the innocent woman.
We tried to talk sense to him, and he kept getting erratic, so we contacted a marksman from Mingo, Lieutenant Pyers. He come to the scene, and I gave him the order to do whatever was necessary for the safety of the hostage.
As police make one final attempt to negotiate a peaceful solution, a sharpshooter moves into position.
They try to get a sharpshooter shooting dead in the keys to the door. Okay.
The gunman is becoming increasingly agitated. He looks around nervously.
Oh my God!
A shot rings out, and both gunman and victim fall to the floor. The hostage runs from the scene. Police surround the downed gunman. Though seriously injured, he is still alive.
He fired one shot, and he hit the victim in the neck, and the victim went down. As he went down, the gun flew across the floor. The hostage got away, and she ran to the front of the store, and everybody grabbed her and was holding her, and they finally took her to the hospital, and she was checked, and I guess she's doing fine.
2 days later, hostage Pamela Hinkle talks about her terrifying ordeal.
He talked to me a lot. Most of the things that he kept saying to me is that he wouldn't hurt me unless they shot. He'd shoot me in the back of the head. That's what he kept saying to me.
Despite being shot, the gunman survives to stand trial for his crime. St. Anthony, Idaho. State Trooper Ismael Gonzalez pulls over a Jeep for reckless driving. Inside the vehicle, the driver waits with a gun. Fortunately, the trooper is wearing a bulletproof vest. Gonzalez returns fire. But because of the vest, he sustains only minor injuries.
To me, it was just another traffic stop that we get all the time. Reckless drivers, drunk drivers report all the time.
As Gonzalez approaches the Jeep, he can make out a man and a woman in the front seat.
Right about in here, I start looking through the passenger side windows, and she's leaning forward and covering her face. To me, I thought maybe that they'd just been in a domestic fight, and that's why he'd been driving the way he had. Maybe she was crying and didn't want me to see. Right about there, I'm looking to see what's going on in the vehicle, trying to see his other hand. He's got it concealed pretty well that I can't see where it's at. Right there, I'll say hello to him. That's when the gun comes out. Right here is where I turn to return fire to him. But at the same time, he squeezes the trigger, and you can see down here on the ground where his round hits right there. He had full intention on killing me.
The shooter speeds away as Gonzalez radios for backup. Despite his injuries, Gonzalez gives chase.
He had already shot one person, and I did not want them to hurt somebody else.
After an all-night manhunt, the suspects are apprehended at this abandoned barn. As for Trooper Gonzalez, he wouldn't be alive today if not for his bulletproof vest.
If an individual wants to shoot a policeman, he's going to do it. It only takes one time to make you believe that this vest will save your life.
Coming up.
Hey! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
A drug smuggler tries to make a quick getaway.
I shot him!
A suspected Nazi war criminal refuses to be taken into custody. Brazilian police use a video camera to stage a daring rescue. And later, a hostage fights for his life with a loaded shotgun taped to his head.
If I moved or tried to make an escape attempt, he was just going to blow me away.
Back behind the line! Back behind the line!
Sao Paulo, Brazil. One of the most terrifying standoffs ever caught on tape. A man holds a knife to the throat of a 2-year-old baby girl. The standoff begins earlier in the day when the deranged man kidnaps the little girl and her 2 older sisters following a botched robbery attempt. When the 2 older girls escape, the kidnapper threatens to kill the baby girl. The desperate man knows the police are carrying weapons, but warns them that if he dies, so will the little girl.
In a situation of this nature, sometimes you hesitate, and you will lose because the criminal's not going to hesitate.
4 hours pass. The police decide it's time to take action. Watch as this officer moves into position, a pistol behind his back.
I don't think they had an alternative. What I saw was a policeman taking the opportunity to save a child's life and acting in a swift and sure fashion to accomplish that.
The standoff is over. Amazingly, the little girl is unharmed and is safely returned to her parents. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Another hostage situation resulting from a botched robbery, this time in broad daylight. The would-be thief holds a gun to the head of his terrified captive. The scene quickly draws a crowd. The tense standoff continues for more than 2 hours. Then, local police hatch a daring plan. The man with the video camera is actually an undercover cop posing as a TV reporter. While the officer seizes control of the gun, other police rush in.
Neither the hostage nor the gunman is injured in the rescue. Look again in slow motion. When the officer moves forward, he is telling the suspect that he needs to get a close-up. He keeps talking right up to the moment he strikes. Other officers quickly move in and the potentially deadly situation is diffused. Later, the hostage tells reporters that she was most frightened when the undercover officer made his move. She thought he was just a cameraman, and when he lunged for the gun, she expected to die. But thanks to this brave officer, the frightening standoff came to a peaceful end. Orlando, Florida.
Okay, we're making a U-turn in the plaza.
Driver, walk back to me with your driver's license.
11:28.
Florida State Troopers pull over a man for tailgating.
You know why I'm pulling you over today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You remember the trailer that you were following? Little camper trailer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got up to within 2 car lengths of it at 65 miles an hour. Okay? That's too close. Okay? You need to do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets for me.
The trooper asks a few routine questions before issuing a ticket.
Is this your car or?
No, it's a rental.
It's a rental car? Okay. Who's in the car with you?
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Your brother?
Yes, sir.
The passenger is asked to get out of the car.
First, do me a favor, sir. Just out of the car for me. Just walk right back here.
Dispatch says the car is rented to a woman named Maria.
Who's Maria?
Maria Felder?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Huh?
That's mom. Maria Felder, that's my mom.
Your mama?
Yeah.
Or yours?
His mom.
His mom?
Yeah.
Are you two related? Your cousins? I thought you were brothers.
We are brothers.
Well, which is it? Your brothers or your cousins?
What it is?
While the officer tries to get their story straight, another trooper brings in a police dog trained for sniffing out drugs.
Let me explain something to you, okay? It's a narcotics detection dog. He's trained to alert to the odor of illegal narcotics, okay? Things like cocaine, marijuana, and heroin. He's alerted on the clock for the odor of illegal narcotics. Okay, now that does give us the right to search it, and we are going to search that. What you do is stand up for me, turn around, put your hands up here behind your head. Just one at a time, sir.
Before searching the car, the troopers must take the driver and his passenger into custody.
Once you have a seat in the car, we'll get this done real quick.
But the driver has other ideas.
Hey! Get out! Get out! Get out! I'll kill you! Don't you move! I'll kill you!
He's in shot! He's in shot! I shot him! Getting Highway 12, signal 44 leads vehicle just took off northbound. Shots have been fired.
The suspect is shot. Despite his injuries, he takes the troopers on a high-speed chase that reaches speeds of 100 miles per hour. During the wild pursuit, police maneuver onto the median to keep up with the suspect. As the chase continues, police observe the suspect throwing suspicious objects from the vehicle. Other officers join the chase. The injured suspect drives on. A news chopper catches the pursuit from above. Then, 75 miles into the chase, the suspect clips the bumper of an innocent motorist and careens out of control. The car finally comes to rest after skidding on its roof for more than 1,000 feet. Officers surround the mangled wreckage. And the wounded suspect finally gives up. Police find 28 grams of cocaine by the side of the road. The suspect is convicted of narcotics possession and resisting arrest.
I'll kill you! Don't you move! I'll kill you!
Limestone County, Alabama. Police respond to an emergency call and find an intoxicated man wielding a 12-gauge shotgun. The officers summon two of the gunman's brothers to the scene. When they arrive, the men approach their brother and try to calm him down. But he is clearly out of control. He continues to drink beer as both the police and his brothers try to talk him out of his violent rage. But there's no reasoning with him. The peacemaking attempt lasts for more than an hour. but their efforts are futile. The crazed gunman becomes increasingly enraged and unpredictable. Then, he raises his weapon. When he aims his shotgun, the police have no choice but to take action. A sharpshooter's bullet finds its mark. A closer look reveals that the police had no choice but to open fire. Even the gunman's brother fears for his life and quickly moves out of harm's way.
When somebody acquires a sight picture, as in taking the weapon and looking down the barrel of the weapon, that person has decided and made it known to everyone around that he intends to use that weapon. You have to understand that the person who has the weapon has a choice. They can put the weapon down and surrender, or they can continue to wave the weapon around in a threatening manner.
Limestone County Sheriff Mike Blakely gave the order to shoot.
He shouted, "Watch this," and made a quick move. He pointed the gun, which came in my direction as well as straight towards his two brothers, and I thought he was fixing to shoot, so I gave command to fire.
Still to come.
Okay, dude. Okay, you want? I don't want anything.
A routine traffic stop turns into a police officer's worst nightmare. Brazilian police confront a deranged man armed with a pistol. Plus, a disgruntled employee armed with a shotgun takes his former boss hostage.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Before a police officer is allowed to carry a weapon, he must first undergo intensive training. Training that can mean the difference between life and death.
Please move. Okay, dude. Okay, what you want? I don't want anything. Drop your gun. Okay.
Santa Fe, New Mexico. A cop stares death in the face.
I'll put everything down, okay? Who knows I'm not doing? Nobody. I didn't call it in.
It starts out as a routine traffic violation. But when Officer Michael Applegate pulls over the car, the driver pulls out a gun.
Put the gun away, all right? Be cool about this. I don't even know who you are, man. Then why'd you pull over? Because you were speeding.
The suspect is clearly on edge. With a gun just inches from his head, Officer Applegate decides to make his move. The two men disappear from view and tumble down an embankment. The gunman's two female companions remain in the car. When the men are back on their feet, it's the gunman who retains control of the pistol.
Don't do it, man, please. Listen, I got a family. Look how you can? No.
The desperate gunman forces Officer Applegate into his car.
Let me just tell you something, okay? You getting in with me? Yeah. Take your finger off the trigger, man. Could go off accidentally. Hey, listen, wait a minute. Let me talk to you.
He orders one of his passengers to drive. 12 miles down the road as they approach a police roadblock, Officer Applegate finally convinces the gunman to surrender. Applegate's calm manner and quick thinking bring about a peaceful conclusion to what could have been a deadly situation.
Here it comes.
Kansas City, Kansas. A man suspected of being a Nazi death camp guard brandishes a loaded weapon.
Hey, put that up.
When reporters try to question the man about his alleged war crimes, he waves his .22 caliber pistol at them.
He just pointed at the police officer.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, he just shut the door.
The gunman ducks back into his house, but police remain on high alert while news cameras roll. Neighbors can't believe that a suspected Nazi war criminal is living right down the street from them.
I said, well, what did he do? She said, he's a Nazi spy. He was in a concentration camp. I said, oh, my Lord, you got to be kidding.
Then,
Here he comes again, hold on.
The man exits his house and begins shooting. Police return fire. He tries to make it inside the house, but he is wounded in the leg. He falls to the ground. Police quickly rush in.
Get an ambulance. Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
In all, 12 shots are fired. 3 by the gunman, 9 by the police. The suspect suffers only a single gunshot wound to the leg and is rushed to the hospital. No officers are injured. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Police are called when a crazed man steps onto his balcony, threatening to kill himself. Officers position themselves on balconies above and to the side. When the armed man sees that the police are moving in, he becomes even more enraged.
From here, I leave dead.
Then suddenly, police detonate a concussion grenade and rappel down to his balcony. The man fights back, but is taken into custody. For Texas State Trooper Brian Barnhart, this traffic stop is about to change his life forever.
I was working routine patrol alone on US 175 on September 29, 1993, when I encountered a vehicle with a headlight out.
So you had a headlight out? No, sir, I didn't know.
I advised the driver who I was and the reason he had been stopped and identified him by his driver's license. I then ran a check on his driver's license, discovering he had outstanding warrants for his arrest.
Hands together. Got warrants out for you. Cross your hands.
The warrants are for traffic violations. Still, the driver must be cuffed and brought into the station.
How come you didn't take care of your tickets? I forgot all about it, sir. Go ahead and step out and let me look at your driver's license, please, sir. I don't drive. You don't have any at all?
I approached the passengers just to see if he had a driver's license that was clear so he could take custody of the vehicle and save the driver a possible toll bill.
Trooper Barnhart then asks the passenger his name. He says it's Sylvester, but can't spell it.
What's your name? Sylvester. Spell it for me. S-T-V-R, Sylvester.
I believe that he's lying about the driver's license. Pretty convinced he's lying about his age. And now I'm for sure that he's not telling me who he is.
Barnhart asks the passenger if he has any guns or knives.
Carrying any weapons or anything? No. We'll face that direction. Turn around and face that direction. I tell you what you do. You get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get down on your damn knees.
At that point, I knew that there was problems.
Trooper Jim Langford arrives on the scene to assist.
Look straight ahead. I tell you what, just get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. I ain't got to lay on the ground, man.
He flatly just refused to lay on the ground. And at this point, I detected movement, and a struggle ensued.
As the troopers attempt to bring the suspect into custody, he shoves Barnhart and breaks free.
The situation changed in a flash once he started getting up.
Doing everything they can to avoid drawing their guns, the officers use their batons in an attempt to bring the suspect to the ground.
At the baton blows, you think in your mind that no one can withstand this, that they're going to comply, they're going to go down.
But the blows have no effect and the suspect continues to throw punches at the officers.
I took at least one strike that nearly knocked me out, and my first thought was, I've got to get him off of me, or he's going to get my gun and kill me.
Trooper Langford comes to his partner's defense.
I attempted to grab his arm and put an arm bar on it, but he turned around and struck me several times in the face and knocked me to the ground.
As Langford goes down, Barnhart rushes the suspect from behind, but he too is knocked down.
Once he had me on the ground, I was semi-conscious, very dazed. My vision was blurred. I couldn't focus.
Trooper Langford gets back on his feet.
When I came up behind him, he struck me in the left jaw.
And at this point, I believe that I'm entirely on my own. All I knew is if I went out and was unable to defend myself, that there were two exposed weapons there, plus what was in the patrol cars. And the last thing that I wanted to do was what ended up happening.
Trooper Barnhart fires his weapon, wounding the suspect. In the confusion, Barnhart thinks he may have shot his partner.
Jim! Why you hit? Jim! 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 Why you hit?
I knew that there was no way I could have hit him with the way I was holding my pistol. But my mind perceived the shot and perceived him fall. And I thought, oh my God, I just shot Jim.
Why you hit? I'm okay. Are you hit? I'm okay. Are you hit?
Trooper Langford is not hit, but the suspect has been shot twice. The wounds are not fatal. An investigation later reveals that the suspect was legally intoxicated. Inside the vehicle is a butcher knife and a pistol-grip shotgun. Neither officer is seriously injured in the altercation, but the painful memories will always be with them.
It just makes you appreciate life more, your family, people who love you. As far as the job's concerned, you just go out there every day and do it.
When we return,
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
a Georgia state trooper gives an armed suspect every opportunity to drop his weapon.
Let it go on the dash before I shoot you!
Then, police use non-lethal beanbag bullets to stun both a suspected car thief and a man armed with a crossbow.
Pooler, Georgia. 2 state troopers pull over a car along a busy highway. The driver is cooperating. The passenger is not.
Bro, you mind step out for me? I'd rather not, bro. What you got in your hand? Let me see your other hand. It's a gun. I'll shoot your. It's a gun? I'll shoot your. Bring your hand up slow where I can see it. I'll kill you. Bring your hand up slow. I will kill you. I will kill you. Watch this son of a bitch. If you see a gun, come up, shoot him. Raise your other hand. Don't make me kill you. Don't make me kill you. Raise your other hand. Raise your other hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'll shoot your if you point this way. Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
The trooper gives the gunman numerous opportunities to drop his weapon.
1, 2. Drop the gun, bro. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop it. Call us some help, man. Drop the gun. Don't be stupid. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. You got a gun? Yeah, you got a gun. Call some help, man. Drop the gun. Let it go on the dash. Let it go on the dash. Let it go on the dash before I shoot you. Lay it up on the damn dash. Lay the gun down. I'm gonna shoot your you get your out of the car. Okay, let me get the seat down. I'll shoot your let me see your other damn hand. Let me see your hands. Come on out this way with your hands open. Come on out, dog. Let me see them damn hands, buddy. Come on out. I'll shoot your come on out. Come on out now. Come on out, shoot your out of the car. Get out of the car.
Then, the suspect makes a threatening move with his gun and the officer is forced to fire. The wound is not serious.
Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Get us an ambulance up here on the double.
The passenger survives and is taken into custody.
Lay down, bro. Lay down, bro. Lay down. Let me see your hands. It's going to have to leave the area, all right?
Inside this auto repair shop is a man brandishing what appears to be a large rifle.
Got a gun?
Yeah.
Got a big gun.
He has a long history here in Ohio as a dangerous felon.
He has an extensive criminal history, aggravated robbery, felonious assault, aggravated menacing, and today he had attempted murder.
Police believe he's already attempted to suffocate his girlfriend. Now, after being barricaded inside this building for nearly 5 hours, he is flushed out with tear gas.
He made statements that he would never be taken by the police unless he was removed in a body bag.
The suspect ignores orders from police. He marches out towards the railroad tracks.
He come walking out with a shotgun under a blanket, and he was pointing it and turning around back and forth, and they kept telling him to stop, put the gun down.
Police attempt to bring down the suspect with non-lethal devices called knee knockers. Watch as the tiny white objects narrowly miss the suspect. Undaunted, the man continues to threaten the officers with the concealed object.
He turned and swung and pointed it at some of the officers, and then I heard a shot when he went down.
just shot him. They just shot him.
The suspect goes down. As it turns out, the man had rigged a piece of pipe to look like a gun. But for police, the threat was real. Waiting to see what was under the blanket could have proved deadly. Notice that the suspect menacingly points a concealed object toward the SWAT officers. Had this been a rifle, the officers would have been in grave danger.
When somebody has intentionally taken an object and made it look like a weapon, you've got to account for that split second it takes to kill a police officer, and the officer's not going to have time to make that split second decision.
Seconds later, the man turns, threatens officers, and the scene ends in gunfire. Hollywood, California. A suspected car thief leads officers on a high-speed pursuit. 2 hours into the chase, the driver leaps from his car and taunts the officers. The driver has stolen this luxury auto from a rental agency. He hops back behind the wheel and takes police on yet another chase through the city. Again, the suspect stops the car and taunts his pursuers. This time, though, police use beanbag bullets to end the chase. The driver is hit twice by the beanbag bullets fired from a shotgun. He is stunned but not seriously injured. Notice the successful use of non-lethal firepower. As the suspect exits the vehicle, he is hit once in the wrist, then again in the chest. Experts say getting shot by a beanbag bullet is like being struck with a baseball thrown by a major league pitcher. After this run-in with the law, the once carefree suspect is slapped with serious charges. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Inside this house is a man armed with a crossbow. Outside is the SWAT team.
He was pretty irrational. He was yelling and screaming, not making a whole lot of sense.
The man bursts through the front door brandishing the crossbow. Police respond with beanbag bullets. The suspect falls to the ground. He is stunned, but still conscious. Police fire 3 more beanbags, then send in the K-9 unit.
When he got up and started to go back inside, we fired additional beanbag rounds, hoping to prevent him from getting out of our control.
The SWAT team remains on high alert for nearly 15 minutes until the suspect gives up.
That's the desired effect that we're looking for, is to incapacitate and de-arm that individual, giving us the opportunity to take them into custody without having to use the next level of force.
Later, in police custody, the suspect is thankful about how the situation was handled.
He said, "I just want to shake your hand. I want to thank you and thank the members of the SWAT team for not killing me tonight."
Sacramento, California. 3,000 people attend the grand opening of a new library. A man carrying a duffel bag enters the building, walks upstairs and approaches the reference desk. Suddenly,
we heard this popping sound. It was like, what was that? To look over and realize there's a man hanging over the counter shooting down onto the floor where the librarians were huddling.
There is chaos. Police respond immediately and send in the SWAT team. The gunman positions himself on the ledge of the roof, waving his gun at police.
I could see in his hand a gun. Officer Dworczyk then tried to make contact with him. Drop the gun, put the gun down, those type of commands. At that time, he made no verbal contact at all.
We tried to engage him in conversation at that point. I remember him saying something to the effect, "They messed with my old lady." Other than that, he really didn't converse with us at all. At one point, he started to raise the weapon into a shooting position.
Police do everything they can to avoid having to use their weapons. They order the man to drop his gun. When he refuses to comply, they repeat their command one last time.
Then he raised the gun, half turned towards us, and that's when we began firing.
You have to wonder about someone who's going to raise a weapon towards police officers armed with automatic weapons.
They have to know that if there is a threat there, that I will deal with it. We got him away from other citizens so that he couldn't do the same thing to someone else.
Up next, a cop squares off with a knife-wielding attacker. A gunman challenges police officers to a shootout. Plus, a crazed man tapes a shotgun to a hostage's head and threatens to pull the trigger.
Calhoun, Georgia. It's just before dawn at a rest stop on the outskirts of town.
Morning, sir. Morning, Park. Can I see your license and vehicle registration, if you don't mind?
Trooper Mike Ralston is suspicious of a pickup truck and its driver, who's been sleeping on the front seat.
I checked the registration on this one. It didn't come back on file.
What? After becoming suspicious, I asked if he could show me what was in the vehicle.
Are you carrying anything in the back of the truck?
My clothes, a couple bags of clothes.
While showing me the contents of the bed of the truck, there was one particular cardboard box which he continuously moved around and put to the side.
About the box with the brown tape.
Car parts they're carrying here.
And then I asked if he could open the box and show me its contents.
The suspect takes out a knife to open the box. Then, without warning, the man tries to stab Trooper Ralston. Just off camera, the attacker is shot once in the lower abdomen.
I'm down.
Okay, throw the knife down. Just stay right where you at. You lay down.
Despite being shot, the man refuses to cooperate.
Sir, stay right where you at. Right where you at.
My main concern was just to get him to calm down until medical assistance could arrive.
Calhoun, give me an ambulance, 1018.
Can't swallow.
Okay, give me some backup, 1018. Shots fired. Sir, just lay down. Lay down! Lay down, sir!
I couldn't believe it. He shot with a .45, and here he is still wanting to fight.
What's your problem?
I'm afraid of you.
Why?
Can you pull a gun on me?
With a knife coming at me, yeah.
I told you my balance is bad. I can't stand.
Well, what's that got to do with the knife?
My neck is broken.
What's that got to do with pulling a knife?
The suspect is holding Trooper Ralston's radio. He tosses it into his truck.
Everything's gonna be okay. I got an ambulance coming. Just behave.
But behaving is the last thing on this man's mind. Trooper Ralston has had enough.
Now stay right there. Just stay right there, sir.
I knew that my weapon wasn't fastened, and I was concerned that it could possibly fall out of the holster. And I knew at that time that that was the only way that he would have any way of harming myself. So I allowed him to get back on his feet.
By now, the commotion has attracted bystanders.
One of the bystanders there in the wrist area approached from the rear and placed a bear hug on him, and I simply walked up and placed the handcuffs on him.
The suspect is arrested without further incident, thanks to the bystanders' help.
Let me get your name, sir. I appreciate it.
As for the mysterious box, it is filled with cocaine. Brooklyn, New York. SWAT officers arrive on the scene to find a distraught man threatening them with a revolver. The gunman challenges police to a shootout. Police try to talk the man into giving up his weapon. Then, a SWAT marksman takes aim. And a potentially deadly situation is averted. Watch again as the sharpshooter strips the suspect of his weapon with pinpoint accuracy. Thanks to the well-placed gunshot, no one is injured, and the suspect is taken into custody. Honolulu, Hawaii. Police respond to an urgent call. There is a man with a gun.
We need everybody. Any units available?
The gunman has a long history with the Honolulu Police Department. Police will later discover that he may have killed his girlfriend a week earlier. Now he's inside this construction company holding 5 hostages at gunpoint. Tom McNeil is one of them.
He just had a crazy look in his eyes and he just pulled me inside, said, "Get the hell in here, Tom."
The gunman was fired from the company 6 months earlier, and now he's back for revenge. He seeks out his ex-boss, Guy George, and shoots him in the leg with a shotgun.
He had the shotgun, he was pointing up and down towards Guy George, his head, and then he just shot.
Shots fired! There's a suspect. Okay, another shot, a second shot. Right there, the top door. Look the road.
Soon after wounding his former boss, the brazen gunman is on the radio talking to a local disc jockey.
916, I-94.
Is this live?
Yeah, this live.
Is it live?
Yeah. John, how many people you got with you right now?
I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You gonna let them go though, right? You gonna what's your intention?
Okay, this guy gonna go out, that's for sure.
Have you shot someone already?
Oh, I took one guy's leg off. Well, not off, but...
Can't you let them come in and take him out since he's bleeding?
No, because he's going down.
The gunman drags his former boss to the window to show police he means business.
Yeah, I see him.
How will this end, John? Let's try to end this.
It's gonna end with a gun bang. Because I sure as hell ain't going to jail.
It's not worth killing yourself over. John,
I ain't killing myself. You guys can take care of that.
The gunman disappears from the window. Police wait in silence. Suddenly, Guy George jumps out the window and drags himself to safety. The gunman flies into a rage.
As soon as he realized he had escaped, he just grabbed me and had another hostage duct tape the shotgun to my head.
The gunman exits the building, his hostage is in tow. Now he's duct taped the shotgun barrel to McNeil's head and fastened his hand to the trigger. At the bottom of the steps, he decides he needs more tape. But when he turns his back, the other hostages make their escape. Now McNeil is the only hostage. SWAT officers inside the building lock the door, and the gunman can't get back in. There is a stalemate at the top of the steps.
And at that time, I felt so alone.
The situation lasts for hours. Police supply food and water to keep McNeil going. In the 6th hour of the standoff, the crazed man tells Tom to walk. SWAT officers are just a few feet away, but do not shoot for fear that even if the gunman is killed, the shotgun will still discharge.
I felt pretty safe out in the street, even though I was duct taped to a shotgun, knowing that there's that many rifles trained on him.
But Tom is far from safe. The suspect instructs him to count down from 60 to his own execution. McNeil refuses.
So he started counting. 60, 59, 58. The place went nuts. To me, 10 was 0. And if I didn't make a move by 10, that was it.
18, 17, 16. Then, as the gunman reaches 13.
As he hit 13, I just swung around. The gun came over my right shoulder. He fired. I grabbed the barrel in my left hand, his trigger finger in the right, threw him off balance. He fired a second shot, and that's when I heard the police gunfire.
The sharpshooters are forced into action. And the standoff is over.
Back behind the line! Back behind the line!
Miraculously, McNeil escapes unharmed.
I have nothing but great things to say about Honolulu Police Department and the SWAT team. Because they held on, did their job all day trying to meet his demands. You just never know. You walk into work one day and you think, well, I'm just going into work. But no, there's a guy with a shotgun in your face and your whole day's changed.
World's Scariest Police Shootouts will return in a moment.
With more and more guns on the street, upholding the law is becoming an increasingly dangerous job. That's why when a cop puts on his badge and straps on his gun, he has to be ready for anything, even a shootout. I'm Sheriff John Bunnell. Good night.